All right, looking good. All right, you ready to do this thing?
I was just getting ready to go. Will you want me to record something? Why are these here?
Well, obviously, where are you going? It can't be more important than doing this.
Well, it doesn't really matter where I'm going because it's always nice to bring a nice board game with you. Welcome to Board Game Animal. My name is Justin. Folks really seem to enjoy our best board games to travel with video, where we shared our thoughts on some of the best games to travel with. Games like Spicy, 20 Strong, the Paco games, Trio, Gloomhaven Buttons and Bugs, Sky Team, which are all tremendously fun games that I swear by. You know what? There are a lot more games, even more than I can fit in this video, that I would recommend to travel with. Because whether you're going near or far, taking a long trip, years in the making, or you're just making a trip over to your in-laws' house and need to bring something so you have something to do to break the awkward silence. It's always great to have a game with you, just in case, and I have some more fantastic recommendations for what to bring. Look at this right here. This is a folded up sweater. For the same amount of travel space, I can fit over a dozen games that we're about to talk about. And so in no particular order, let's get to it. Radlands from Roxley is a tremendous two-player only game. Feels like an entire TCG or CCG in one nice compact little package. It was getting hot in here, sorry. The good news with Radlands, no need to buy any booster packs or set after set of new cards. It is a solid head-to-head, highly replayable and easy-to-table game that packs a lot into one streamlined little box. It is wildly impressive the amount of game that fits in this nice little package. In fact, it was never even supposed to have expansions, but one expansion did come out last year, but it is so nice and neatly compact. It fits into the original game box while adding tons of really fun gameplay. And what's crazy is this is the biggest box that we're going to be featuring today, so it's just going to get smaller and even easier to travel with these darlings. When it comes to traveling, a common reason for people to travel is to visit family. And I really love having a collection of games, a really honed collection within my general collection of games that are fantastic for the discerning gamer to introduce to non-gamer relatives for one reason or another. Romy Ramy is great because it adds two gamified layers to essentially a re-implemented version of Rummy. And this is one of those games that if your family is used to classic card games, they'll pick this up quite easily and have a really good time with it. It looks nice, this is easy to play, and again, a little package. These games get even smaller, because in that same vein, we have Flip 7 from the Op. I will admit that this is a promotional copy. It comes in a much smaller package than the retail version, which is still small but not quite as compact as this. It is right on the box that Flip 7 is the greatest card game of all time. It's a strong statement to make, but it doesn't make that statement lightly. Flip 7 is a remarkably quick and easy to play and teach push your luck game that still has some oomph to it. It's one of those games you can easily replay and you will likely want to. Please will have a blast playing this one, trying to strategize when best to take chances and risk it, and when best just to sit tight. It's that colors and numbers on cards in a nice small package that is very approachable and very easy to bring with you and teach in the matter of minutes. This is actually where I think it would get this tagline, because when you play this game with folks that have never played anything other than games like Uno or Phase 10, they will immediately say this is the greatest card game they've ever played. Kotur is a compact and effective little set collection game where you're taking the role of a fashion model, hitting the runways of New York, Paris, and Tokyo. It's a fast-paced game managing the limited cards in your hand to auction, bid, draft your way into gaining cards, ultimately set collecting for the most points at the end of the game. Kotur is such a unique, different theme. It looks gorgeous, really excels at 3 players, and is really simple to teach and quick to play if you brought this with you on a trip, and it is super rich for the size and speed of the game. Fairy is a bizarre little game that may not be for everyone, but it's most certainly for me. But if you know what to expect going in, you're going to have a really silly, fun time. You're going to be holding your scorecard, pinching it at your current point value, and with your other hand making a gesture, trying to predict what the next card's going to be in relation to the last one that was played, depending on whether you were successful and about what things gains you points. There is a lot of chance, but a little bit of card counting, process of elimination stuff, that can create some really hilarious moments around the table. It is so quick, so easy, so small, This is the exact kind of game to bring with you traveling if you want to just have a very, very lighthearted, fun, laugh out loud kind of game. You know you're going to be in that environment. Definitely check out Fairy. Time for some pirates. Skull King is just one of the best trick-taking games that's out there generally. It is a really easy to teach, easy to play trick taker that is great for group settings, and once again, a great idea for folks out there who are used to classic card games. If they've played games like Hearts, etc., similar to Romy Ramy, this is one of those games that family and friends who are familiar with traditional card games from a deck of 52 will have a smooth time picking up and likely will really enjoy it. This company, Grandpa Beck's Games, in general mostly come in these nice little compact sizes and are very family friendly, and they're easy to bring around with you, and I think likely you will find something from them that catches your eye in their library. Skull King is my personal favorite of theirs, and one that I highly recommend to you to check out. Let's keep the pirate theme going. Reiner Knizia's Loot just got a really nice new addition from Outset Games. This is actually my favorite version of the game. I think it looks fantastic. The production is really, really nice. It's been around since 1992, but I think this is the best version yet. This is another great game to bring out for a group with folks who like high interaction card games. All in a race to collect the most treasure. On your turn, you'll decide whether to fight for someone's treasure, protect your own, or add more to the table. I knew I couldn't go very long without referencing a Knizia game, right? This isn't even the only one. Additionally, another Knizia game that we've sang the praises of on Board Game Animal is Poison, and Outset has a small little compact version of this one as well. Either one or both are great little card games that don't take up too much space to pack, ultimately not intimidating to folks outside the hobby. Definitely check out Outset's Knizia games. Button Shy games may be the epitome of the best games to travel with. Here's one of them. This is The Last Lighthouse. It is a little solo game from Scott Almes, and yes, it is in a tiny, thin little wallet. Button Shy's entire line of games is built on the idea of generally 18-card pocket games that fit inside a small wallet. Now, what makes them really stand out is the variety of games that they offer. It's a cornucopia, and the quality and punch of the games despite their wildly modest size. And I do want to talk about a couple specifically. The Last Lighthouse was one of my favorite games, period, of 2024. Yes, in a year of games where my number one game was a box my child could fit inside of, another one of my favorite games was one of the smallest games I own. You'll be managing your hand of cards, filled with traps in an effort to tackle the nightmares approaching the lighthouse. Yeah, right, kind of a grand scheme for something that only has 18 cards. It is an awesome solo game that has a ton of replayability and challenge in just its core little wallet. And then if you want even more, there are a few small expansions that add cards, mechanisms or two to each to the experience. All in all, it is one that you will want to keep coming back to. Coincidentally, we have another solo Scott Almes game here I wanted to talk about, which is A Nice Cuppa. Oh, I didn't expect that to stand up. It is a great puzzly experience with a really interesting and, as many games in the current environment, a cozy theme, but this one actually delivers in a unique way. Whether you're a fan of drinking tea or not, you can likely relate to taking some time to do something that relaxes you to help dispel your stress and the anxieties of day-to-day life. It's not always easy to make time for yourself, but it's really satisfying and rewarding when you do. Something here that's ingeniously brought to life in a little card game where you are managing your actions as efficiently as possible to have a nice cup of tea and relax. Button Shy has an impressive catalog of games, a variety of player counts in all different genres, with a wild amount of themes. Not to mention their lineup for 2025 is already looking extremely impressive. Kind of similar to what I've said about some other companies to check out, Button Shy is one where you are likely going to find a game or 2 or 10 that you will enjoy. And even if you got 20 of these, they still don't take up much more space than a couple pairs of socks in your suitcase. And to that effect, at the end of the day, you really could have one of these in your pocket at all times, not even when you're specifically traveling. And you'll always have a solid, delightful little gaming experience in your pocket, ready to go if you have a little bit of downtime. And that's it, a lot of games, really small packages. It looks a lot standing like this, but it's really not. If you have any questions about the games that you saw here, or if you've played them and you want to comment about them, please leave it down below. Would love to discuss it with you. And additionally, if you'd like to see more recommendations for great travel games down the line, let me know because I have quite a few more to share. I want to give a huge shout out to Button Shy, Outset, and the Op for the review copies of some of the games that you saw featured in this video today, and for being friends of Board Game Animal in general. Like I always say though, regardless of the review copies we get sent, I would not be recommending to you a single game if I didn't believe that they were quality and deserved it. I'll have links to the companies behind these games in the description down below. And remember, no matter where you're playing, always play board games like an animal.